Well, first we need to understand that in the last 6 years we have lived through a Brexit, a pandemic, and now a war. Just the pandemic, every week of confinement is like a year in digital adoption, which means that things that were supposed to happen in 5 years from now are happening right now. And that means that there is a huge amount of effort from a capital investment point of view and from a technological point of view that we need to accelerate, because our customers are now demanding things that were supposed to happen 5 years from now. So everything has been changed, accelerated, incentivized.
So it's turbocharged thematics that you and I would have talked about a couple of years ago and compounded them, is what you're saying there as well. But can you keep up with that demand? Because we know that one of the ramifications of maybe Brexit, but certainly COVID and certainly the war, is that supply chains have been hurt.
Yes, and we need to prepare for a new way of supply chain, but not just supply chain, energy cost. Yeah. Energy cost has increased significantly. 2 years ago, we were concerned about energy in the impact on climate change, but now we need to think about affordability and availability. So there are a whole amount of ramifications, and on top of that, we need to deal with a 50% capacity increase every year. So think about an industry that needs to prepare for a capacity increase of 50% every year. That's us.
Your industry has had real run-ins with government, with the Commission over the years about the lack of joined-up thinking, the lack of an infrastructure plan. I spoke to Mr. Sanchez yesterday about the Spanish recovery plan. Do you believe that Spain and the broader EU is finally thinking in a joined-up way about how we can actually accelerate our growth?
Yes, I do. And in fact, in the case of Spain started to deploy fiber 10 years ago. There is 10 times more fiber in Spain than in other places in Europe. So the Spanish network is in a good situation, but we need a European effort as well. So I absolutely agree that it is time, if we want to think about digitalization, it's about infrastructure building, and for that we need an investment effort that needs to be put in place. In the case of Spain, it's mostly done, but in other parts of Europe, it's still to come.
And is the actual building of this infrastructure, is it happening? Because I've spoken for almost seems like years now about the recovery plan. I've spoken about the money being available. Is it happening now?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I think that one of the good things, the few good things about what happened during the last years is that Europe has been highly committed to deploy this kind of infrastructure, to have these recovery funds. Now, the way we use those funds is the key success factor for the future. So yes, they are there. Yes, there are plans to deploy them, but now it's about execution.
But we're not falling behind. We're not falling behind on data connectivity, on fibre connections across Europe. I know what you said about Spain as well, but I mean, globally, we see huge growth in Asia, huge growth in other parts of the world, in the Middle East as well. Europe's not falling behind, is it?
No, but we cannot relax. I mean, it's time to do it now. It's time to really commit those resources. And it's time also for a regulatory environment that fosters that investment. Because right now, we need not just the funds, we need also the right regulatory framework. Because we are talking about infrastructure that are going to last for the next 50 years.
That's interesting.